It's KFI AM 640, and you're listening to The Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. The guy who shot up the target was a target himself with LAPD, and they got their guy. And Crozier, he shaved his head. He's not frowsy anymore.
Wow.
He tried to do a disguise there and take the cops in a different direction, and the cops saw right through that.
Well, last night, the pics that we saw, the security cam pics, he had the fro, but he had the do-rag on top. So he had that kind of bozo, hair out the sides, but flat on the top with the do-rag on top. And I'm wondering if when he did this, when he went to that target, he had any inclination that all that hair was going to be gone 24 hours later.
No, there's no way. But also what may have also set him off and why he went crazy is he has had it with being referred to as bozo. That could have been could have set him off as well. Yeah, or crusty. But it's not a good look. All right, so we're going to keep an eye on that story. That's fresh. It's interesting. And another reason not to go downtown LA, I guess. My daughter let me tell you where these Trader Joe's are. I know, Bellio. I know. I see you waving your arm. All right, new Trader Joe's. 3 new Trader Joe's in Southern California. And they're all opening in the next, 8 months. The exact locations for California. Ladies and gentlemen, if you live in Northridge, you get yourself a brand new Trader Joe's. 9224 Reseda Boulevard. 9224 Reseda Boulevard. And you're going to get yourself a beautiful, beautiful Trader Joe's. Another one, Sherman Oaks. Another Valley, Sherman Oaks. 14140 Riverside Drive. 14140 Riverside Drive. Van Nuys-ish? I don't know, but it's on Riverside Drive. You'll find it. You'll enjoy it. And then the third one in Southern California, we staying in the Valley, Tarzana. 18700 18,700 Ventura Boulevard. So we got 3 new Trader Joe's opening up. That's a great sign, Bellio. The company is expanding when everybody else is shrinking.
That is a great sign.
Yeah.
And I love hearing that.
You do?
Yeah, because I'm tired of hearing that everything is closing.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Are you a Trader Joe's fan?
I love Trader Joe's, yeah.
Where's your nearest one?
It's, I don't know the street. I don't know my streets very well.
Okay.
It's in Woodbury.
You just say, go over there?
Well, I just
Woodbury sounds beautiful.
Woodbury is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to live in Woodbury.
You would thrive in Woodbury.
Yeah, it sounds like very clean.
It's very clean. It's lovely.
Is it in Irvine?
Yeah.
Oh, so Woodbury's a part of Irvine?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet the cops don't mess around there.
Oh, no.
You F around in Woodbury, man, you're done.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't tolerate this kind of crap that we do in LA. All right, so 3 brand new Trader Joe's. And that's exciting for people who live in the Valley. 1 in Northridge, 1 in Sherman Oaks, 1 in Tarzana.
And like you were saying, they're doing well enough to where they open.
Wait, I lost my headphones. Hold on, Croge. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that, like you were saying, they're doing well enough that they have 12 locations that are expected to open around the country. A couple in Washington State, a couple in D.C., Tennessee, Pennsylvania, New York, Alabama, Maryland.
Isn't that great though?
Yeah,
it's terrific. Congratulations to Trader Joe's.
I don't know about any of these places. Like Rockville, Maryland, I know could be a very money place.
Do you remember their slogan about 10, 20 years ago? Their buyer goofed and they bought too much chocolate or too much wine.
Their flyers, their fearless flyers.
The fearless flyer. Our buyer goofed. And he goofed for 20 years.
Whoops.
He bought way too much crap for 20 years and they kept him on. Guy goofed all the time. Our buyer goofed. You know what I heard about Trader Joe's wine? Not anymore, but when they first started.
Oh, the $2 chuck?
Yeah, but no, all of their wine was insurance wine. It was all insured for transportation, and you either got too hot or got too cold, and so they sold it off for like $1 a bottle, and Trader Joe's bought it all. So it was all wine that insurance had to pay for, and then they sold it off to Trader Joe's.
Nice.
I don't know if that's a rumor or not, but that's the old Trader Joe's, not the new Trader Joe's. Can you buy cosmetics? Can you buy like hairspray and toothbrushes and deodorant or anything like that in Trader Joe's?
Buy deodorant, and I don't think
That's
toothbrushes. Yeah,
was that it?
Yeah, but it's all going to be like the homeopathic, organic stuff.
Oh,
That's,
yeah.
all natural type of stuff.
Yeah, like Tom's Brothers or
Exactly. A lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
There's that whole little section of aisle where it's the medicines that you wouldn't otherwise know what the hell they are.
and don't work.
Yeah, right. Some wormwood thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's cinnamon toothpaste with no fluoride or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Deodorant that doesn't really work.
Yeah, garlic flavored toothpaste. Yeah, it's all that crap. Tom's.
And then some candles on the aisle, right? Some itty bitty candles.
I got to get to that pie, though, that Steffush was talking about.
Yeah, man.
That ice cream that he described like a hula pie. Is it chocolate crust on that pie?
No, it's a crust, but it's like a coffee ice cream
Right,
in the pie. Like the pie is like coffee ice cream.
Right, but is it the crust chocolate or is crust regular?
The crust is regular. Yeah.
All right, let's fix that.
It's really good.
All right, we are in a year of review. New Year's Eve is tonight. Tonight. I mean, what is it? It's 6 hours and 50 minutes from right now. So you got to get to that party. Enjoy yourself. All right, what's going on with this year?
As we close out this year and await the next.
I know it's a radio hack thing to do, but we're doing it anyway.
As we close out this year and await the next, we want to look back at the moments that turned into memories.
Pursuits, protests, a sports season to remember forever, and another turbulent year from Mother Nature. That shocking scene in Ventura County near the start of the new year was a clue to what lay ahead in 2024.
Last year was the second year in a row that we've had above normal precipitation. When you have 2 years in a row of heavy rain, then you start to see real problems.
And problems we had. Trees onto roofs and vehicles, intense rescues from flood-swollen channels, and mudslide upon mudslides slamming into homes, leaving owners devastated.
I don't know where I'm going to go just yet.
2 years of soaking rains proved to be too much for neighborhoods in Rancho Palos Verdes and Rolling Hills.
Oh, that's right, the Rolling Hills. People are sliding into the ocean. I forgot about that.
Where massive shifts in the ground cracked homes, split streets, and forced utilities to cut service. Notably devastating, Wayfarers Chapel. The historic and damaged landmark was painstakingly disassembled with the intent of eventually rebuilding somewhere else. Ironically, just a few months later, firefighters would be praying for rain.
When we talk about acreage specifically here in Southern California, it was a very active season.
3 massive wildfires burning in Southern California, homes destroyed, neighborhoods under evacuation orders.
The line, bridge, and airport fires burned out of control at the same time in mid-September, depleting resources across our area.
Yeah, we had a lot of fires, a lot of rain. It was really bad. Mother Nature really twerked on us this year.
I've been through a lot of fires. I've never seen it move that fast.
Even some of our crews had to evacuate while covering the rapidly moving flames.
At one point, as we were about to go live, I just looked at Will and I said, we can't go live. We got to get out of here. That fire's moving too fast.
Homes were destroyed. Fire lookouts that stood for decades are now gone. But thanks to firefighters, Mountain High Ski Resort was saved. Then, in November...
These are sustained winds anywhere from...
That's Mark Brown's version of Ernie Anderson. Then,
in November...
So these are sustained winds anywhere from 60 to 80 miles per hour.
This is going to be a fairly strong Santa Ana wind event.
If we're going to categorize devastation, I mean, they're all devastating. Unfortunately, for the mountain fire, whole communities were in cinders.
Thousands of people and animals forced to evacuate at a moment's notice.
Yeah, that was horrible. The fires last year was just unbelievable.
It is almost impossible to imagine how these crews are able to keep up with the rate of spread here.
Nearly 400 structures were damaged and destroyed in the blink of an eye, some burning to the ground just feet from ABC7 crews.
We ended up kind of just stumbling upon this road. We couldn't believe it when we got there.
It's really scary out here, to be honest with you, because right across the street, we have another fire.
The wind was so strong, it was moving our van. It was physically moving us once we stepped outside of the car. The smoke was so dark, it almost looked like the middle of the night.
Miraculously, no lives were lost,
Isn't that crazy? Out of all those fires, nobody died, huh?
The middle of the night.
Miraculously, no lives were lost, but lives were changed forever.
You think of all the memories that are in that home, and you think of the people that have maybe grown up in that home, lived in that home for so many years.
Those homeowners are always on the minds of reporters while on the scene.
It's very important for me to state this is the location I'm at, and this is exactly what I'm seeing, so that people who are watching me will be like, okay, that may be my neighborhood, that's close to my neighborhood.
Despite the fires, which lasted into December with the Franklin fire in Malibu, the floods, and several instances of shaking ground.
Oh, we got an earthquake.
Yeah, a lot of earthquakes as well. I forgot about that.
We certainly do. We got an earthquake right now. Leslie, we get you prepared to talk about this. We're shaking pretty good.
There was also beauty from Mother Nature in 2024. So what can we expect next year?
The La Nina, which is the cooling of the water, is not progressing as our computer models thought it would. If that happens,
more
then
rain.
All bets are off. I mean, we could see another season of at least normal or maybe even slightly above normal rain. But my forecast is for slightly below.
Slightly below. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see how that shakes down. All right. So, yeah, 2024 was, Mother Nature really kicked our ass this year with the fires and the floods. And, God, I remember the last 2 years, remember the people snowed in up at Big Bear and Lake Arrowhead for weeks. The National Guard had to go up there with plows and get all those people out of there. It was a tough couple of years. Mother Nature really kicked our ass the last couple of years here in Southern California. All right, when we come back, we've got some other news happening as well. We'll keep an eye on this chap who they've caught downtown Los Angeles. And today is the anniversary of something that we all will remember. We'll come back. I'm going to tell you about it.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. On Demand from KFI AM 640.
It's Conway Show. Live on KFI AM 640. This is the 5th year anniversary of COVID. How about that? Yeah, I know. I got him. I see the I see the phone, and it's Stefouche and Bellio's waving her arms out there like, oh, this guy has been doing this for 2 days. Let's see if we can, God almighty, both of you. All right, let's put him on. A great way to introduce him, right? It make me angry as hell. Then we have our guest on. That's great. All right. Yep. Elex Michaelson, how you, bub?
Ding dong with you. Happy COVID anniversary.
Ding dong with you. Yeah, this is the 5th anniversary.
I can't believe it. Can you believe it's been 5 years?
Yeah, it's
That's
horrible.
Crazy.
But you remember when it started, how panicked everybody was? You know, you went to a grocery store and you filled your cart up with crap you wouldn't eat just because it was the only thing left on the shelf.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, there was that run on toilet paper.
Yes, on toilet paper and paper towels and bottled water. And it was a rough couple of weeks.
You know, I've thought about this recently. We should have gotten a better sense of things when the homeless people outside didn't get sick.
That's right.
Well, maybe that should have told us something, that maybe these guys who are literally living in squalor but are outside
That's right.
and not getting sick, maybe sending everybody inside is not the way to go.
That's exactly right. And you remember when, about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, I flew into Ontario Airport, and the guy that picked us up to drive us back to Burbank, he was from Africa. I think he was from Kenya. And I said to him, hey, how did people in Kenya, because he was fresh from Africa, been here for 2 weeks. I said, how did people in Kenya, how'd you guys handle the pandemic? And he says, oh, I'll tell you about it. He says, we didn't wear any masks. We didn't wear any gloves. Nobody got any shots. We didn't close any schools. We didn't close any businesses. And everybody went on their daily life. I said, oh, how'd you do with deaths? He said, we had, I think, 1 or 2 in the entire country.
Wow.
We panicked in this country, and it cost a lot of people lives. Because, when you panic like that and then you get COVID, it affects you because you think you're going to die, and you're not, for the most part.
Yeah, well, there were a million people that did die.
Yeah,
so
but
we shouldn't discount that.
Okay, but the people that died, they all had 4 or 5 things working. A lot of overweight, a lot of preconditions, a lot of lung problems, a lot of bodies already breaking down. For healthy people, when they got COVID, they had a very easy time with it, for the most part.
Yeah, as a society, to treat a 300-pound 80-year-old the same you do a 7-year-old is not exactly the way to go, and that was our mistake.
And to close the schools,
too much political correctness.
I will never forgive the county and the city for closing the schools. I will never forgive them for that, ever.
Although the whole country did that too. It wasn't just here.
I don't live in the whole country. I live here.
The problem was that we kept them closed longer. Understandable maybe the first couple of weeks as you try to figure out what it is.
Right.
Once we knew what it was and the teachers' unions were being obstinate that they wouldn't come back, and in other areas where teachers' unions weren't being like that, the kids did go back, that was unexcusable.
Yeah, it really affected a lot of kids in a very negative way. All right, Happy New Year, buddy. On a happy note, we're 20. Now, what you guys are doing the parade tomorrow?
Yeah, it's the first time that Fox has done the parade in 30 years.
Wow.
So we're really excited to be hosting it. Christine Devine and myself are going to be hosting it from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. commercial free. And then we're going to repeat it 2 or 3 times after that for all the people that are out partying tonight and are hungover and don't wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Everybody. Are you nervous about it?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I remember going to the parade as a kid and looking up at the stands and looking up at Bob Eubanks and Stephanie Edwards and looking up and all that and thinking, man, it would be so cool one day to be able to do that. And as a SoCal kid, to be able to actually do it tomorrow is really, really exciting and kind of surreal for me.
They got the perfect guy to do it, right? Guy's not going to make fun of anybody. He's not going to, there's no, you're not going to swear. You're not going to drink. You're not going to smoke. You're just going to say, hey, those floats are great.
Are you suggesting that you would make fun of people and then swear if you were doing it? I kind of want to watch your version of the parade.
But you've got to be very careful on what you say and what you don't, right? Yeah. If you want to do it again?
Yeah. It's probably not the show to do that at.
That's
but
right.
I think like the drunk uncle version of the Rose Parade. Yeah, look at that one sucks. Crock of that is.
That's right. I'd like to see that version.
Yeah,
so
would be funny.
So take us behind the scenes here. Are you staying there overnight to make sure you're there on time?
I'm not, but I'm probably getting up around 3:30 in the morning or so. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep. I'm like you. Like we work nights, so I usually go to bed around 1 o'clock in the morning. So the idea that all of a sudden I'm going to fall asleep at like 7:30 is kind of hard to imagine. So I may not get a lot of sleep, but that's okay. You can take a nap afterwards. But it should be really cool. I mean, we went out there a few different times to check them out in person and talk to some of the people behind it as part of the preparation, and it really is extraordinary to see them and to smell them. I mean, a lot of them have like on average 50,000 flowers per float. I mean, it's just incredible to see the detail up close of all of them. Have you been out there? Have you done all that?
Not even close.
Okay.
I've even thought about it. But Elex Michaelson's with us. Channel 11 tomorrow at 8 a.m. Do they give you a bunch of stuff to read and to study up on what to say about these floats?
Yeah. I've got a whole binder of that, and then I've been doing some of my own research on it as well. I just want to let people know if they don't want to come out there tomorrow, they may want to bring their families out for 3 days afterwards, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. You can come check out the floats with your families.
Oh, good.
I think it's like $20 or so, but you can come look at all of them up close in person and smell it and see the detail and all that. And for people that have kids that are listening to it, it could be a really cool sort of family thing on one of these days when there isn't that much going on. A lot of people have the day off.
And where are they going to park you? Where are you going to be?
We're right there. I think it's Orange Grove and what is it? Colorado?
Okay.
Right there.
All right, that's great.
Yeah.
And how did they decide to use you? I mean, Fox got the go-ahead to, that's very tough to get the broadcast rights to that parade. How'd they pick you?
I don't know, but I'm grateful that they did. I mean, we're going to be the only local anchor team doing it. Some of the other national networks have their people, and KTLA, hires some people that just do it once a year who are great, Mark Steinitz and Lisa Gibbons. But we'll be the only sort of regular local anchor team doing it with a very LA focused, which I think is very cool.
Buddy, I'll be watching you, maybe not on the first round or the second round, but I'll be watching you maybe on the third round.
the third round.
Yeah.
The football game's about to begin.
Exactly right. Buddy, I think it's great. Your parents must be on the moon. I mean, for your parents to take you to that parade and then you're broadcasting, it's a big deal.
I know. It was cool. We were reflecting on what it was like to go there as a kid and all of that. So it's, it's such an iconic part of Southern California. I think on average, 50 million people watch it from around the world in like 200 countries. So it's something that the whole world wakes up on New Year's Day and they see us.
Yeah, and the weather's going to be spectacular.
It always is, right? I mean, I think it's rained like once or twice in over 100 years on January 1st. I mean, there's something about that Rose Parade. That's why they started it in 1890, was to show the world what a great climate Pasadena had as a way to try to attract people to come move there. And year after year, the weather cooperates.
Now, conversely, can you imagine being in Times Square right now where it's pouring and you're in these little 10 by 10 cubes and you can't go to the bathroom? You have to be in your cube at 3:00 and you don't get out of there till 1 a.m.
Yeah, I saw a reporter that I know who was in there who said that literally people are wearing adult diapers. They're going in there and pissing their pants and then standing in it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I think like many cases, the West Coast is the best coast. I think we've got the better end of the deal on this one.
Yeah, I think you're right. Buddy, I'll let you get to sleep. We're going to promote the hell out of it all night and on social media. That's a really big deal that you're doing that. And I hope you and Christine have a terrific broadcast, bub. And Happy New Year.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Thank you to you and Bellio and the entire crew for all your support all year. We love you guys so much, and Happy New Year.
All right, Happy New Year. All right. Yeah. That's Bellio.
Well, he included me, so I felt that was my opening.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. All right. Elex Michaelson, everybody. That's great, buddy. What a privilege that is. That's really cool. On Channel 11, doing the broadcast. For the parade. It's a big deal. Bellio?
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Quite the honor.
That's right.
That's it.
That's it.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. On Demand from KFI AM 640.
I would play Crazy Taxi, and then I would my buddy would come home because I was living in Sherman Oaks with a friend of mine, and he'd come home and I go, "Oh, you got off work early," because he'd work all night. He goes, "No, it's 6 a.m. Like, wait a minute, I've been playing since 11 p.m.
Rude.
Yeah, addicted to it.
We used to, here at KFI, when I worked here in the overnights, we used to bring in game systems. Because before we played Coast to Coast, we would do best ofs from the day prior. So all the board ops had to edit them out, and then we had to put them all together, and then we ran them in the overnight, and I was the board op back then. And we used to bring in a game system. There was about 3 or 4 of us, and including like Tony Sorrentino, he brought in his system, and we would play Crazy Taxi and all those other games that were around at that time.
Yeah,
in the middle of the night.
Crazy Taxi was the best.
Yeah.
You could get, you take that car into the water, you just cruise underwater for half hour.
Yeah, and some of the fighting games, it's like Soul Calibur, was just really cool and graphic and awesome, and just, we all night long.
And when you got into a groove with Crazy Taxi, you had at the end of the night, you had one really good run. Yeah. We got a bunch of people, picked a bunch of people up, got a bunch of points, didn't crash, didn't injure anybody. And man, that was time to hit the hay. And it was hard to put it down. It was addicting. And when it wasn't just once where I played from 11 p.m. till 6 a.m. I do once a week. I just couldn't put it down. It was a drug. And I enjoyed it. I loved it. Crazy Taxi. I don't know if they still have it or not. They still have it, Steffush? They still have Crazy Taxi?
I'm sure you can download it. But yeah.
But people,
But the best thing is to have the console, the one that they had the arcade, because they had that the gas pedal was a foot.
Oh, I didn't know they had the arcade one.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's the funnest one. Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta look into that. That's wild. I enjoyed them. I knew I'd be addicted. I had to get rid of it. Because I'd still be doing it right now, on this stupid thing.
Most of them were one of those ones that had the chair that was already attached to it. You didn't stand up and play it. You sat in the arcade games.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta find out one of those. That's a cool deal.
Cockpit seat it had.
We live in a small town. Burbank I consider a small town. And here's a perfect example of it. My daughter has just put up a bank account, and they kept her ATM card. I don't know what happened. There was potential fraud or something, or she missed her. I don't know. Something happened. But the bank at Yumi Federal Credit Union, and so I went in there today, and I tell you, I don't know why people go to banks. I don't know why everybody doesn't go to a credit union. But this Yumi with this woman helped us out, Judy. She has dinner every night with her 104-year-old mother, Ruth, every night. Every single night. She has dinner with her mom, who's 104, laughing at Jimmy Carter for not making it past 100. Laughing.
Wow.
104. And she went to this woman who's the vice president of Yumi Federal Credit Union. She went to the exact same schools my daughter went to. The exact same schools, elementary, junior high, or maybe they went to a different junior high, and then high school. And it's great living in a small town. Yet being in a big town, having the Kings, Lakers, Dodgers, Rams, but living in a small town. And if you have that in La Cañada, I think, for the most part, Simi Valley is a small town, has that small town feel. People have been living out there for generations. Valencia, Santa Clarita, that's another one. Seal Beach down in Orange County, another small town. But living in a small town in Southern California is really a good idea. You get all the benefits of the weather and all the benefits of living around community where people from generation after generation after generation grow up, and you stay and you develop, deep roots in a city that means a lot to people. And and when I know that this, Judy Sherman is the bank, vice president over there, and she's been in Burbank for 65, 70 years. And I don't think there's any equivalent to that. So if you live in a small town, maybe it's not Burbank, but you live in a small town in Southern California, don't move. Don't move. Stick it out. Stay in the small town, and your kids will grow up knowing other people's kids. They'll have kids, and that's how you get generational friends and generational businesses. They stay, and you recognize somebody, and you develop friendships for life, and develop generational friendships. So if you're in Southern California and you're not happy with your area because you live in LA and it's dangerous, there's people shooting each other all the time, go find a small town somewhere in Southern California. Maybe you're thinking about it. Do it. Do it. You'll never regret it. Never, ever will you regret it. All right, let's have there was a story about the Mega Millions here. Let's see if I can find this thing. The Mega Millions, this guy wants to stay anonymous. The guy won in California up in Cottonwood.
It wasn't you. It wasn't me. So I'm going to pause there for the audible groans. But we do have a Mega Millions winner. That single winning ticket that matched all of those 6 numbers was sold at a Northern California gas station. Now, those life-changing numbers, they're right there. 3, 7, 37, 49, 55. And that power magic number there, 6. Now, if you're wondering who that lucky winner is, it won't be too long before we find out. California is one of those states that does not allow for anonymity of lottery winners.
Yeah, we shoved this guy right in front of the cameras so they can ruin his life.
There were also, get this, 5 winning tickets sold that matched 5 of the numbers to win that second-tier prize. Not a bad consolation. The jackpot winner can go with either that one-time lump sum payment of $549.7 million, or go with the annuity option of one immediate payment followed by 29 annual payments. Now, this jackpot standing as the 5th largest in Mega Millions history, still shy.
Crozier, you were always the guy that say take the lump sum, right?
No.
No, you don't?
No.
You take the annuities, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
Really?
Far more money.
Wow, I don't know. But see, you could run into a problem like back in 2015, 2016 in the state of Illinois. They ran out of money. They ran out of lottery money. They spent it on other crap. And so you run into risk.
They didn't take him to court? That's a contract.
No, they took him to court, and they eventually won. But it was a lot of lawyers involved. It was a pain in the ass.
Just got to take it all.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you take if it was $550 million, I'd take the lump sum.
You can typically transfer your lottery winnings to, inherit or transfer to winner beneficiaries and heirs.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
So there's a reason to do it as well. Or you're not going to spend as much money unless you're really dumb.
Yeah.
You're not going to blow through it.
I'd love to have that problem, though. Deciding on whether to take 29 payments or, one lump sum.
Or like, what's his face and buy the, he bought like a $80 million house.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, Castro was his name?
Yeah. He started buying up real estate.
Yeah. Hey, that guy's bought his mom and dad a house. He bought a beach house or Hollywood Hills house.
Hollywood Hills.
Got all these cars. Guy's living large. Yeah. Lottery. $1.2 billion.
What are you going to buy with $1.2 billion that you couldn't buy with $100 million?
Honest to God, I think the lottery would ruin my life. I really do. Yeah.
There have been a couple movies about documentaries of people how they've gone broke, and some people have actually won more than once and gone broke both times.
That's why there's that show, The Lottery Ruined My Life.
I think it would ruin my life instantly. Because I would think everybody that talked to me would just want some change. They'd want a package.
That's why you just leave the country.
That's
and
right.
Buy another one.
Yeah, like when somebody said hi to me, I would be, okay, you want a package?
Yeah, how much?
Yeah, I'll give you an envelope here. There you go. Is that enough? Is that enough for you? Is that enough? I think it would ruin a lot of your friendships. Because every time a guy would call you just to say hi, you're like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, well, I just got back from Switzerland on my plane. What's going on with you? How's your Toyota? Is it still running?
That's why you never answer the phone again if you win.
You would always have to help everybody out.
Yes.
Guy calls you up. Hey, I'd call you last week, but my cell phone was up. Okay, well, I'll send you a check. Where do I go? T-Mobile. Okay. All right. What's your account number? And all of a sudden you become a banker. That's all your whole life. I think it would ruin my life. I really do. Because I don't spend that much money. I go to Target, I go to Walmart, and I don't really buy much. The only problem I have is that I really enjoy the racetrack. So if I made $550 million, I just up my bets. I'd blow it all at the racetrack. Yeah.
550 mil?
All of it. And then people call me, hey, can I borrow 50 grand? I know, I went through it all. Wait a minute, you went through $550 million in a month? Yeah. I got photoed out and a lot of races. Didn't work out. A lot of people I bet lie and say they don't have any more money. They spent it all. Because it would ruin a lot. It would ruin my life. It would help Steffu. Steffu should be a king. Turn into a land baron.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
All right, New Year's security for New York City. They don't F around. They do not joke around on New Year's Eve. Everybody gets the treatment.
We are, of course, on the verge of a brand new year, people, and it is already 2025 on the other side of the world.
Wow.
Places like Auckland, New Zealand have already kicked off the celebrations. And here in Times Square, huge crowds are expected to watch the ball drop at midnight, despite some not so nice weather in the forecast.
Yeah, it's pouring. People are soaked. They've been there since 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They're soaked to the bone. They're going to be tired. They're going to be sick. And they're not going to have any fun, and they're going to be exhausted for a week. For what? They could have sat home and just looked at the TV.
And just like every year, this event is a major test for law enforcement. They are working hard to keep everybody safe. Nikki Batiste got an inside look at those preparations, and she is down in Times Square. Good morning, Nikki, my friend.
I used to work for Dick Clark. I worked for Dick Clark for, I don't know, maybe 2.5 years or so. And I was in New York when they were doing the New Year's Rockin' Eve, and I called my buddy there, Larry, and he was there with the whole crew. Dick Clark was there. And I said, hey, do you guys need an extra PA? And he goes, oh, yeah. He goes, are you in New York? I said, yeah. He goes, oh, we don't have to put you up at a hotel or anything. Yeah, we'll pay you. Come work for us for 2 days. We'd love it. And so I worked the New Year's Rockin' Eve there for 2 days. And
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a fun job. My job was to get in a van and drive people back and forth to hotels or the airport or the base camp and all that crap. And I used to drive, so I'd just drive a van, back and forth.
Who are some of the celebs you drove?
I didn't get any celebrities. I got crew, and I enjoyed them. Bellio, I know you're sort of a snob, and you'll need Ira Festel and Jackie Lacey and all your other celebrity friends you hang out with. But I was just driving, cameramen and sound guys.
They're nice too.
Yeah, they were nice too. Yeah, they were beautiful people. So I would drive a van, and I worked for 2 days or so, And I remember coming back to the actual set, and I had cameramen and sound guys and, lighting guys, makeup women, wardrobe people. And I dropped them all off. And then I had to sit in the van and wait for the van to fill up again. And there was a beautiful parking spot right in front of where I had to be. And typically I would have to double park. And I would have to sit there in the van, and the cops would come up and harass you and say, hey, you got to move. And then I'd have to drive around the block, and I missed a couple people, and it was a pain in the ass. So there was a parking spot, and I was a parking spot right there. And there was a homeless guy. He was sitting on the curb, laying down, and his feet were in the street. So I got out, and I said, hey, buddy, I said, can you move out of the street so I can park here? And he's like, nah, yeah, you can't park here. I said, buddy, come on, let me park there. And he's like, no, you're not going to, you can't park here. And he's laying in the street, so I can't pull the van in. And I said, buddy, come on, I'll give you $20 if I could just park here. He goes, no, I don't want your $20. And so I went to grab him to move him, which I probably shouldn't have done.
What?
I just needed to move him.
Clearly. I'm going to move him around a little bit.
I just need to move he could stay on the sidewalk. I just needed to move his feet out of the street so I didn't run him over.
Like a foot.
That's right.
Literally.
I picked up his feet to move him out of the street. And he jumped up, flipped out a badge, and said, I'm an undercover effing officer.
No way. I did not see this coming.
Yeah. You touch me or get anywhere near me again, you'll spend the next month in jail.
Wow.
I loaded up my pants. I was only 20 at the time, maybe 21. And I never will ever forget that, man.
Well, why wouldn't he move and let you, like, why not get up on the sidewalk?
Because they're going to bring in an undercover car there.
Oh,
he was an undercover cop.
Okay, got it.
And they're bringing in, they're working on a big deal there. And this idiot who works for Dick Clark Productions was going to move him.
That's a great story.
That's a great
story. You should tell the story about the celebrity that you left at the Hollywood Bowl when she asked you to wait for her.
That was Loretta Swit from MASH.
Hot Lips Houlihan.
Yeah, Hot Lips Houlihan. And she'll still remember this because she was really, really angry with me. But I picked her up. She lives up in the Hollywood Hills. I'm not going to tell you where. And I drove her to the Hollywood Bowl, and she was with another couple. She was with her husband, and there was another couple there. And I drove her to the Hollywood Bowl, and I got there early, and I got a parking spot. And she says, hey, she goes, I know it's a nightmare after the concert. Can you stay right here? I'll pay for the parking spot if you stay right here. I said, yeah, sure. And so she left. I got bored in about, 5 minutes. And I split because I had 3 hours to kill. I was going to sit at home. I was going to sit there for 3 hours. So I drove home. I think I was playing Crazy Taxi for a couple hours and then drove back, and they wouldn't let me back in that parking lot. And so I'm here to pick up a celebrity. And they said, we don't care what celebrity it is. You're not getting back in the parking lot because people are already starting to come out. And so this is before cell phones. I didn't have any way to contact her or anything. And I was calling her manager, and her manager picked up. He's like, why aren't you there? She just called me. And I'm like, I'm on the street, but I'm a block away. And she ended up taking a cab home. And she was really, really upset.
Maybe you should have stayed there, you think?
I should have, yeah. I had Hot Lips Houlihan.
I know. What were you thinking?
She was very nice on the way there until I screwed up. And I felt like I screwed up. I angered the hell out of her.
We had her on the show, though, a few years ago.
Yeah, I don't remember if I asked her about it. Did I ask her about it, or did she remember it? I don't remember that.
I think you did, and I think it triggered her a little bit.
I don't remember who the concert was, but I could probably look it up because there was logs of all that, all my drives. Hot Lips Houlihan. Yeah, the only guy in L.A. that really pissed her off. Me. All right, we're live New Year's Eve. We are coming up on 6 o'clock. So you have 6 hours until we are into a brand new year. Good luck. We're live on KFI AM 640. Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Now, you can always hear us live on KFI AM 640, 4 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app.